But is it normal for one of your boobs to be bigger? I think why, but it's so noticeable. Same sis! Thanks to Blessa for sponsoring this video. Stay tuned for a spicy giveaway. Hey guys, it's Sharon. Welcome back to my channel. I feel like I haven't made one of these videos in a long time and I have been dying to, so it's about time. I asked you, hey, send me some questions that you want answers to and I will do my best to answer them in the most like unfiltered, unhinged, authentic way possible. So that's what we're doing, and if you want to see more episodes like this, I have a couple more episodes to my Girl Talk series you can check out on my channel, and if you're not already subscribed and don't have those post notifications turned on, you should probably do that. All that being said, go grab some snacks, go grab some tea, and let's have a fun little girl talk. Starting with sexy time or getting intimate. I couldn't decide which I liked more. Do most girls shave their vagina for sex or leave it on? And what do most boys prefer? I'm gonna tell you right now, it doesn't matter what most boys prefer. What matters is what you prefer, because it is your body and your coochie. Personally, I think if you're about to sleep with someone, which is a very vulnerable thing to do, and they're judging you because of pubes, aka natural body hair, and they also have natural body hair, that's just not someone you want to be sleeping with in the first place. You could ask your partner what they prefer, and if you want to cater to what they prefer, go for it, but just do what makes you comfortable. I got asked this question a lot, and that's, should you be embarrassed about pleasuring yourself? Is self-pleasure normal? Should I be ashamed to masturbate? Is there a wrong/right way to masturbate? So the quick answer is no. As in, no, you should not be ashamed, because it is so normal. Masturbation is a healthy part of your sexual development, and it's like totally safe sex too. You don't have the risk of STDs, nor do you have the risk of getting pregnant. So I think it's important to find out what you do and don't like, and this is a great way to do it. No pun intended. There isn't really a right or wrong way, because every body literally is different. The whole point of it is to explore and embrace, which actually brings me to this video's sponsor, Blessa Boutique. And I'm giving away free toys and gift cards to everyone who enters my giveaway with them. So this is a bi-woman company on a mission to empower and celebrate everyone's sexuality, because we all deserve a little pleasure. No shame. Like seriously, none. Blessa Boutique offers a wide range of toys that we will get into, but first I want to talk about one of my favorite things that they offer, and that is, if you're not quite sure what you're into or you want to try something new, Blessa Boutique actually offers a quiz on their website that you can take, and it will match you with a toy that you could like. So it's kind of like a dating app, except you're dating yourself. And that's hashtag self-love, y'all. For example, you can go on a date with the Pebble. Ready for this? Boom! This has both suction and vibration that can be controlled independently, and you don't have to click through any of those annoying modes, because we don't got time for that. Blessa gets it. It's also rechargeable and waterproof and built to fit in your hand perfectly for no cramping. There's also the Air Vibe, also comes in this cute little case. This is a dual simulation champ that is also waterproof and rechargeable and silent, but deadly where it counts. And if you're feeling really spicy, the Thump does it all. This one is also waterproof, also rechargeable. What I love about these, you know, aside from the obvious, is that they all fit into these little carrying cases, and this is also how they recharge. I love how discreet and convenient this is. This is a bonus on its own. Shipping is also discreet, in case you're wondering. I mentioned a giveaway, which you can sign up for and win a free toy or a gift card. Check out my link below, and everyone who signs up will win something, because we're all winners here. Unashamed winners that love ourselves and our bodies and our needs. Remember that part. It is natural. It is normal. How do I tell my boyfriend that I want to start having sex? I feel like the easiest way to go about this is just going up to your boyfriend and being like, hey, I want to start having sex. But again, not everyone is that direct. So in that case, I would just start bringing up the subject to them. Start talking about it and kind of gauge where they're at. Maybe you can ask them questions like, hey, well, what if we started having sex? How do you feel about us having sex? Do you think we're ready to have sex? I think it's also very important though to remember their comfort. It could be a vulnerable topic, especially for couples. Don't be pushy, don't be aggressive, don't be defensive, don't be offensive. Just stay cool and either direct or non-direct. What are some things to know when it comes to your first time having sex? Oh man, I feel like there's a lot of things to know, but I'm not gonna sit here and give you a gigantic list, but at the same time I am gonna sit here and give you a list that I did actually write down. Here we go. Okay, I think the number one most important thing when you're having sex is that you yourself feel ready to have sex. Foreplay is important. You need to be turned on. And by that, I mean like if you're dry down there, it can't just be shoved in. That will hurt and be so uncomfortable. I feel like when a lot of people say, oh, well, my first time hurt, 9 out of 10 times, I want to say it's because of friction. And that friction that is causing that pain is usually from dryness. There wasn't enough lubrication, so get some water-based lube it up. That being said, your first time is probably going to be awkward and a little bit uncomfortable. You might not even orgasm. It's not always like it is in the movies. Just take it slow, be in a cozy, comfy place to help ease your anxiety and cut yourself some slack. Don't be so hard on yourself. It's supposed to be something that's fun and enjoyable versus really stressful. Also, you're not gonna know everything, and that's okay. Oh, this one's really important. Pee after sex. Bacteria could be introduced into your urethra during sex, and you don't want that bacteria in there, so you want to flush it out. I think this one is also super important, and I don't think it's talked about as often, and that is speak up. Say what you do and do not like. If it's not doing anything for you, say it. You could just be like, hey, can we try this? I think this would make me feel better or really help me. Also, always use protection and contraception if you don't want to have a baby. Probably actually the most important thing. Periods. Okay, so how does period underwear work? Do they feel gross? I too was hesitant before trying like period underwear because I was like, there's no way. There's no way you could just sit in undies full of blood. When I tell you they have actually changed my life, I genuinely mean it. It's fabric that's specifically made to collect period blood and made to like not let it leak through your clothes. There's also a lot of layers in it, but also it really depends on the brand that you're buying. So I definitely do some research into them. I don't think they feel gross at all. They feel like you're wearing underwear, and there are some thicker ones. So for example, I have like one for really heavy flows that I'll wear on like day 2 or day 3. Those feel a little bit thicker than regular underwear, but I still think they don't feel as thick as like the big thick pads I'd wear before. Also, the concept of like when to change your period underwear is pretty similar to the concept of like when to change your pad, which is if you feel that wetness, it's time to change. And to be honest, like you don't feel that wetness all the time, at least I don't, because that wetness literally seeps into the layers. When I rinse them out, I'm actually amazed how much blood there really is, because I'm like, there is no way all this blood was in this and I wasn't feeling a thing. I definitely recommend trying some. My period cramps are the worst. Any tips for surviving them? I know no one's gonna want to hear this, but this has probably been the most effective thing for me when it comes to handling my period cramp, and that's change your diet. Especially though, the week leading up to your period. Like, it's so much easier said than done to just eat healthier. If you can at least just eat healthier the week before your period, it will make such a difference. At least it has for me though. Every body and every period is different. If I eat like gross, greasy, or fatty foods before my period, my cramps are so much worse, and so is my acne. Oh my god, I will never forget. I went to like an all-you-can-eat Brazilian steakhouse, and it was the week before my period, and I knew I shouldn't have done that, but it was my mom's birthday and that's where she wanted to go. Red meat makes your cramps worse, and I was like, you know, like maybe it won't be that bad. Oh my god, I had the worst period cramps in the longest time that week after eating at that restaurant. Caffeine also makes your cramps worse, so if you are a coffee girly, do decaf instead the week leading up to your period and the week of your period. I am a tea girly. Definitely do some herbal teas. Avoid caffeine in teas too. I know ginger tea is like really good for inflammation, so is chamomile. Peppermint tea is another good one. Just remember to like avoid caffeine, salty, greasy, fatty, sugary foods, dairy. Anything that makes you feel like crap is gonna make you feel even more like crap, basically. Also, heating pads are your best friend. At least they're my best friend. I prefer an electric one because it can last longer and I can just plug it in and I don't have to go to the microwave and heat something up. Also, drink lots of water. People always say this and like they say it for a reason. Water helps with like bloating and cramps, so do that. You're also losing a lot of blood on your period. Bananas are really good for cramps. Have not forgotten that. Ginger I just know is like really good for inflammation. So like definitely do some research and don't be afraid to experiment every period. See what made it better for you, what made it worse, because you know you do have to try a couple of different things to find out what works for you. I'm 20 and at times I'm still embarrassed about my period. Is that okay? Because my mom is the same way. I think being this open is a very new thing. New in the sense where like I think social media and our relationships nowadays have just become a lot more open and closer and just less taboo. Because I remember growing up and being taught that like periods were something we kept to ourselves. They were like a secret. It was something that the boys couldn't know about or your father, you know? And I think that we are slowly working towards a more open and progressive view of it. Do I think we're entirely there yet? No, because it is hard to undo some of the stuff that we were taught to believe, you know? I think culture does impact some stuff. Definitely don't think it helps that there are some people, like the government, for example, trying to limit sex ed. I think society is starting to realize how crucial sex ed is and work towards a more open and understanding society. But I don't think we're entirely there. So I get it if you still feel a little bit embarrassed, no shame, which you shouldn't have, but you know. All right, girl, do periods actually sync up? Because my friend and I get it at the same time a lot. Oh man, okay. I've made several like short videos on this. So long story short, no. If you're having your period and your friend gets your period, it's not because there was some alpha hormone or some alpha uterus that synced you guys. So you didn't cause each other's period. It is genuinely coincidence, and it is genuinely the laws of probability. And this entire misconception started because of one study done back in like the 80s that has since been debunked multiple times. It's literally called the McClintock effect, but for some reason like everyone just stuck with it and ran with it, and it's literally just probability. But then that being said, technically your periods do sync up because at one point or another your cycles will line up. So they do sync, they just don't stay synced forever. At one point they will fall out of syncness. I hope that makes sense. Dating and relationships. I had a really bad breakup, but I'm thinking about getting back into the dating scene. Any advice? I hate having to say this, but I am so serious. Have low expectations, but keep your standards. And no, they're not high standards. Don't let anyone make you feel like you're asking for too much. They're just standards, period. Do not settle for less, and do not settle for something that you don't like in the first place. Don't force anything. If it's not there, it's not there. Definitely don't pity date. If you don't want to date someone, don't date them. Don't date them just because they asked you and you're like, oh, maybe I could grow to like them. No, like make sure you actually like them and actually have an interest in possibly getting to date them more or getting to know them more. When it comes to actually going on those dates, share your location with a friend. Do not have them pick you up. You are meeting them there, and you are meeting somewhere public and somewhere that you know the area very well in, and somewhere that you feel comfortable at. It is a sad reality when we have to worry about our personal safety, but seriously, do not forget those things. Also, don't be afraid to be stern or what basic asshats may consider being a bitch. If someone says something or does something that you don't like or makes you feel uncomfortable, leave, block, unmatch. You don't have to deal with that. And like, honestly, just have fun. I know I just gave you a lot of things, but like, dating is supposed to be fun. Go on multiple dates, date different people. Just communicate and be upfront about what you are looking for. If someone tells you they want something casual and you want a relationship, don't expect that you can change their mind. Communicate, be upfront, have fun, be safe, and good luck, Charlie. How to get over someone you never dated. Oh, I felt this. I always did things that I knew made me happy or things that I really loved. So that was like watch my favorite movies, watch my favorite TV series again, listen to my favorite music, stuff that would put me in a good mood and stuff that I know makes me happy. I like to do artsy, crafty stuff too, so I would do a lot of things that would distract me and take my mind off of like wallowing in self-pity. And I think that's so important, is to keep yourself busy so you're not just there in your own thoughts and in your own head. And I'm not saying that as to avoid your feelings. I think you should confront your feelings, but I don't think you should let your feelings devour you. Also, just remember that like you didn't miss out. If anything, they're the ones that missed out on a great person. There is someone out there that will know not to miss out though. Okay, so I'm currently in the talking stage of a relationship that I actually think could go somewhere, and we have a plan to go on a date, but he's really dry over text and I don't know what to do. So hot take, some people just generally suck at texting. I used to not think this. I used to be like, no, that's just wrong. And then I became the person that sucked at texting. I just feel like texting now takes out so much energy, and I could get into a whole conspiracy or this whole rampage about how it's just the society we live in, people are overworked, capitalism, a pandemic, blah, 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 and all that stuff. But like, I just cut people some slack, you know? But at the same time, I'm also like, if he wanted to, he would. So I get it. I get it. If you're interested in them, I think it's important to see the chemistry in person before deciding if they are even worth it. My boyfriend, while we were talking and getting to know each other, oh man, he was not the best texter in the world, in the sense where he was a little bit dry and a little bit short. So I would ask him a lot of questions and I would try to like get stuff out of him, and he'd slowly start trying to get stuff out of me. And I've noticed when he was short or dry and I wouldn't respond, then he'd send another text because he's like, wait, I don't want to end the conversation. I want to keep it going. Some people generally just don't like being on their phones all the time. It's insane, I know. And I'm not even being being sarcastic. Self-love and body image. I also got this question a lot. How do I shave down there? So I actually made a couple videos on this, if I'm not mistaken. You can definitely go check them out on my channel. Just literally search like Just Sharon shave. I did try an entire shaving routine for my downstairs area, and I'm not gonna lie, I just thought it was too much. So that being said, if you do prefer to shave though, I would recommend trimming as much as you can and then shaving. As for like avoiding razor bumps, it's an entire process on its own. Like I'm talking like even put like a little warm towel to open up your pores, moisturizing type of stuff too. Know that when you are shaving, you never want to shave against the grain, and that means against the direction your hair is growing. You always want to shave in the direction that your hairs do grow, especially in your downstairs area, because for some reason that area is so prone to razor bumps, and they're the worst. They get so itchy, and then your coochie looks like it had chicken pox, and I'm just like, it's not fun. So I have personally just opted out of it, but you don't have to give up like me. Definitely go check out those videos. I highly recommend them, not to toot my own horn. Real talk, how can you grow your confidence and actually love yourself more? I definitely think that whatever you surround yourself with has a huge impact on your mood. Music, shows, content, your friends. For example, whenever I'm feeling like low about myself or a little bit insecure, I always listen to either Britney Spears, NSYNC, or the Backstreet Boys, because if there is anything all of them do, it is remind you that you are a bad bitch, or that you deserve everything and then some, you know? So that's what I do. Hannah Montana too, like ain't gonna lie. I think it is very important in what you surround yourself with on social media as well. Like if you find that you follow a lot of people that you feel jealous of, or they make you kind of doubt yourself, or you feel a little bit insecure whenever you look at their profiles, just unfollow them. Like if you notice anything that just makes you have those small bursts of doubt, just, you don't have to see it. One small thing that I've done that like makes me a little bit happy is I've put little like love notes around spots that I'm at often. Like in my mirror, I have a little sticky note that says, "You look great today." There's one in my office that says something like, "You are good enough." I even put one in the mirror in my bathroom. Like it's small things like that. I'm not even gonna lie. You just gotta tell yourself these things until you believe them. Kind of like how I was saying when getting over someone, just do things that you love and do things that make you happy. Having something that you're good at also does boost your confidence because you're doing something that you're good at and something that you love. This one might not work for everyone, but this has really worked for me. Whenever I'm feeling down about myself, I like dress up, I get cute, and I go out, or I stay in and I take photos of myself. That sounds a little bit egotistical, but then again, the whole point is to get the ego boost and feel better in my own body and feel better about myself. Try that. I'm so serious. Make little get readies with me, try fun stuff on in your closet, take lots of selfies, do stuff for yourself. It seems like all the ladies in my family have ended up intentionally giving their daughter body image issues through their own. What can I do now to stop the cycle by the time I hopefully have a daughter? This is so real and this is so valid, and this is something I think about often and a conversation I have often with the women in my family. I've gotten to the point where I don't feel bad anymore confronting them about toxic habits that they have. In Cuban culture, it is very common for some reason to like pick a certain attribute about a person and make that their nickname. So like if you're skinny, you're now la flaca, which is the skinny girl. La gorda, which is the fat girl, is also a nickname. So I have called that out to my family members. There's also been instances, and this is pretty common in, I want to say, all of Hispanic/Latin culture. When you notice that someone has gained or lost weight, you feel like you can comment on someone's body. Like I've had to check my grandma and be like, that's not cool. I like snapped at one of my grandma's friends about that. She was saying that my grandma gained weight, and I was like, who are you to say that? My grandma's beautiful. Who cares if my grandma's gained weight or not? Why should that matter? I think it is very important to check ourselves and check the women in our families. I think the fact that you're already aware of it is a good sign because you're already one step ahead. And our last question is TMI, but is it normal for one of your boobs to be bigger? IDKY, but it's so noticeable. Same sis. If it helps, it is so noticeable to you. We always notice the littlest thing about ourselves that no one else really bothers to notice until we point it out to them. I do have a boob that's bigger. Not to be dramatic, I feel like one half of my body is just better than the other half of my body. Like, you know when you have like that one eyebrow that looks better than the other? They're sisters, they're not twins. That's how I feel about one entire half of my body. Anyone else have that problem? One boobie bigger than the other? I feel like it's pretty normal. But anyways, I hope hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love having these girl talks with you. I generally hope they help make you feel better or feel more confident about these things. If you enjoyed this, please give us a thumbs up, and if you have any questions or any pieces of advice you would like to share with us, please do so in the comments below. Now, shout out of the day goes to Felicity on Instagram. Thank you so much. If you'd like to be shout out of the day, just follow me on my Instagram and stay active, and also follow your girl on TikTok. Both of those platforms are where you get bonus content that you might not see on here. If you would like to watch more girl talks, I have a lot more episodes on my channel, and honestly, like, if you want to see another one, let your girl know. We should do this more often. This is fun, right? If you agree and you're not subscribed yet, definitely subscribe and turn on those post notifications. But you're doing great, sis. I'm so proud of you. I love you. Bye.